Hello there everybody, this is Aira, and today we're taking a look at a brand new little indie game called The Wolf's Bite. I was given a key for this game to review, so I'm reviewing it. I have played it a little bit, so I have a sense of how it is. The premise is, this is set in sort of Mother Goose fairy tale land, where the three little pigs have been victimized by the wolf, who demolished a couple of their houses without permission. And they're pretty mad about it, but the wolf has changed his ways. He has decided to clean up his act and go legit, and so he's trying to open a restaurant. And the three little pigs, who are kind of hooligans in this version of the story, they just want to run him out of business, get revenge, and they don't always do it in the nicest of ways. So, first thing you should always do, blah, 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 if I can speak today, is take a look at the options menu, and you'll see the settings, there's not too much here. Change the music, you can change the sound, you can turn full screen on and off. There is a resolution thing here, but it's not there, as you can see. You can't click it, can't do anything with it, can't change the resolution. I don't know if this is something they're planning to add after. This game was released a few days ago, on Monday, the 28th of August. So it's supposed to be a full version, and I don't know. Maybe it's coming, we'll see. By the way, just some basic info before we jump in here. This was made by Three Little Devs, very cute name for a company. As I said, it was released on Monday, the 28th of August, and it is on sale on Steam for a normal price of 8 monies. That is, if you're in the US, it's $8. If you're in the EU, it's €8. A little bit unfair, but that is how most people do it. However, at the moment, if you like it and you want to grab it, it is on sale for just 6 monies. And that will be the case until the 4th of September. So you've got a few days if you want to get it a little bit cheaper. So let's jump in and take a look at the game. Now, the first thing you do is choose 1 player or 2 players. Unfortunately, there is no online multiplayer. There is only local multiplayer for the 2-player version. So I'll just be doing the 1 player. I have not tried playing the game with the second person. So I have kind of tried out the mode just on my own, and I've seen that it basically works the same way. Except instead of playing against a computer opponent, you play against a human opponent. So we'll do 1 player, and then you choose, do you want to be the wolf, or do you want to be the pigs? Wolf, pigs, wolf, pigs. I have more experience playing the wolf. I think I'm going to go ahead and play the wolf this time. I have tried out the pigs as well, and they each have different options for things they can do in each location. So I'm going to go ahead and be the wolf. We're going to go in here. Now, this is my first thing that I dislike about the game, is the unskippable intro. Every single time you play a game, and a game is not long, they last, maybe 10 to 20 minutes. Every single time you have to go through this intro, and you can kind of try to click through it, but you still have to go through it. There's no way to skip the intro, which I dislike. So here's the map. Wolf goes first, and matter of fact, whichever character you chose, you always go first if you're playing against the computer, so that's, kind of nice. So here's the restaurant. This is the Wolf's Bite, the Wolf's Restaurant. The Witch's Hut is here, the lake, the barn, which is, it's a bar, the grocery shop, the Culinary Institute, the neighborhood, City Hall, and the bad side of town. And essentially you can go into each of these different locations and try to do things which will change the quality of your restaurant, that's these stars, your reputation, and the amount of money that you have. And the pigs can also do things to change their reputation and money. However, the pig's goal is to run the wolf's restaurant out of business. And the wolf's goal is just to be successful and not necessarily do anything bad to the pigs. The wolf is remorseful. The wolf feels bad about what he did. And he's trying to turn his life around. So the first thing that I noticed when I played this game for the second time is that this game is not random. There is a certain element of randomness, which is, well, I'll show you when we take a turn, but basically, each thing you do, there's a guaranteed result every time you do it, and then there is a sort of random event that happens after. There's a finite number of these, but every single time you complete an event, the options will give you the same result every time. This means that if you play the game a lot, you can memorize all of the possibilities, and I feel like that would probably kind of change the dynamic of the game. As of now, I'm still discovering stuff and seeing what things do. So for the first day, I'm going to go ahead and work in the restaurant. I can work in the kitchen, or I can work in the front of the restaurant. I'm going to work in the front of the restaurant. Let's see what happens, okay? You spend the day greeting the guests and waiting tables. Your customers appreciate the visible effort you are making to ensure they have a pleasant experience. Seeing happy customers makes running around for hours on end worth it. The Wolf's Bite gains 1 quality, so you'll see a star go up. Oh, it'll happen after, okay? So now this is the random event. Every time, that was the guaranteed event, so every time you do that, you will always gain 1 quality in the restaurant. And then there is a random event that happens afterwards, depending, I think it depends on what day of the week you're playing. So, hey Wolfie, it's me, your cousin Lupin. Your mother told me you had a restaurant. What's the matter? The demolition thing didn't work out? Oh no, Lupin, it sure didn't. Anyway, I thought I'd come check you out. So listen, I got this pressure cooker, real mint, a real gem. You won't believe it, but it fell off the appliance truck. I'm not sure if I do believe that. It can be yours real cheap, just let me know where to drop it off, eh? So now you can decline, accept it discreetly, or accept it openly. And whichever one of these you choose, you will get the same result every time you choose it. So if you play again later, and you get this event again, you can memorize which one does which. I have seen the answer to accept discreetly. Let's try accept openly and see what happens. Lupin, cut the shenanigans and just give me the pressure cooker. How much do you want for it? Openly trafficking stolen goods might be expedient, but it's still wrong. Apparently I chose wrong. The wolf's bite gains 2 quality, but the wolf loses 1 wealth and 1 reputation. And I want to point out before I click and the results show up here. 2 quality, it looks like each of these stars has 5 points on them. So each point will give you a kind of a corner of the star here. As for wealth, it's the number of dollars that you have, the little dollar sign there. However, the reputation, I don't understand what they were thinking when they did this. As you can see, I have gained 1 reputation. However, here, reputation is given as a percentage. And since I don't know the total number of points I can have, I don't know what percent 1 reputation is. It seems that 1 reputation is something like 5%, or at least this only changes in increments of 5%, but I don't understand why they would give you a percentage and yet tell you how much you have in points. Or like, they could have just told you how many points you have out of the possible number, or they could have said you gain this percent reputation. But the fact that they did this with points of reputation and there's percentage up here is very confusing, and I wish they would change that. So, another piece of critique. So yeah, now my reputation is 20. You can see the stars have gone up, and I've lost $1. So now the pigs play, and we get to watch the pigs turn. So you can learn about the pig side of things just by watching the pigs play as well. So they're going to, I do like this. I like this little animation. They broke into my house. Those jerks. If you can't beat them, cheat them. By messing with the wolf's home life, he will be more irritable, more stressed, and less focused at work while he worries about his home. By the way, this will stay here until you click as the player, so you can have all the time you need to read it. Serves him right for his unsolicited residential demolition-free samples. Oh, his heart was in the right place. I don't think it was, actually. The wolf loses 1 wealth, enhancing his home security. Now, the random event. Cookies could be a great way to spoil appetites without resorting to pushing candy in the neighborhood. Candy is a metaphor here, I think, and I don't think I need to say any more about that. Everyone likes cookies, and people always lose their minds over Snout Scouts cookies. The false sense of scarcity, plus the warm fuzzies of sponsoring an organization that takes care of the youth. How to pull it off, though, given the distinct lack of Snout Scouts amongst the adult pigs. And they choose pose as children. You know what they say, swine stay fine. Since you still get carded when you buy alcohol, you figure you could pass as youth. The uniforms even still fit, although they seem to have mysteriously shrunk in storage. A few hours of discomfort later, and you successfully move an entire pallet of cookies. I don't think that's the correct spelling of pallet here, but okay. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. It's not important. I don't know why I'm worried about that. Spoiling countless dinners with the baked goods. This is my inner editor. I'm an editor for a living, and now I'm suddenly questioning my own ability to spell pallet. So the pigs gain 2 wealth and 1 reputation, while the wolf loses 1 wealth. Little jerks. So at the end of each turn, you get a little newspaper, famous food critic coming to town. Gus Fiore has caught the wind of the intrigue surrounding the wolf's bite and would like to feature on his show Restaurants, Taverns, and Bars. Will the episode be about redemption or revenge? Only time will tell. So now we're on to day 2. You can see day 2. And this is another one of the problems I want to point out, is that it tells you what day you're on, but it doesn't tell you how many days you have left. At no point in the intro did it say, or at least I didn't see that it said, that you only have a week. It turns out you have 7 days. The game will end after the 7th day. The fact that it doesn't tell you how many are left is problematic. I suppose if you play the game a lot, you'll get used to it, but I was really confused at first because suddenly the game ended, and I thought that the game wasn't going to end until either I won or lost, but it doesn't. It ends after 7 days, and then you get an ending. And it's not even necessarily a win-lose state, it's just kind of a different ending to the story. So, this game actually reminds me a lot of Monster Loves You, both in terms of the visual style and the kind of upbeat music and the writing and the fact that you're kind of telling a story and kind of choosing your own adventure, except it's a 2-player choose your own adventure instead of a 1-player. So it's kind of interesting. All right, so I'm looking right now at what I got here. I've got 2.5 stars, a little bit more for my quality. My reputation's at 20%, which is very low. You need your reputation to be higher, as I discovered. And only $7, not a lot of money. So I think instead of worrying about the quality of the restaurant, which I think is sufficient for the moment, we need to get our reputation up. How can we get our reputation up? Let's go to the bad side of town. By the way, you can go back. If you click one and change your mind, you can go back. Actually, here's one I haven't done yet. Neighborhood Watch. This sounds like it will get my reputation up. Domesticated wolves are the original watchdogs. While crime is generally rare in this city, the citizens can sleep a little more soundly knowing you are standing vigilant protecting them. The wolf gains 1 reputation. Huzzah! Of course, I have no idea how much that is. Having to bring garbage to the dump is a real nuisance. This is my random event now. Ever the entrepreneur, you sense an opportunity. What if the garbage was collected and brought to the dump for the neighborhood without any intervention on their part? Surely people would pay for such convenience. All you need now is a business model. Okay, so I can reallocate current restaurant staff, subcontract to C+ sanitation, I don't know about that, subcontract to Java robotics. Now, the only way to know what the result is going to be is to try it, because I'm still in kind of the discovery phase of this game. I don't know I've never gotten this event before, I don't know what each of these are going to do. So I have to guess, and there's really nothing I can do. Occasionally, it's kind of obvious what you're supposed to do, but occasionally it's, like in this case, you might be very surprised. I think if I reallocate my restaurant staff, my restaurant's going to lose quality. If I subcontract to C+ sanitation, I'm assuming since most of the team who made this game is American that C+ is not intended to be a good sign. Or I can subcontract to some robots. I'm kind of curious to see what the robots will do. Let's do that. Why not take automatic garbage collection to its most logical extreme? Robots programmed to deliver garbage to the dump seems like an ingenious, can't-fail strategy. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Robots never get tired or ask for raises, so they make the perfect workforce. Unfortunately, dang it, once you alerted them to the opportunity, they cut you out, but offer you a royalty to avoid future litigation. You also got recognized for tackling the problem. Well, that's all I was trying to do, is get my reputation up. So the wolf gains 3 wealth and 1 reputation. That's alright then. Now the pigs play. Where are you gonna go, pigs? What you gonna do? They're getting their fortune told. Okay. 3 non-refundable, completely binding predictions for the future, all for free. What a bargain. Refundable, but for free. Okay. Non-refundable, sorry. Non-refundable. They'll never get their $0 back. Hooves crossed for something nasty for the wolf. The room went dark. A chill filled the air. Suddenly, an otherworldly voice that was everywhere and nowhere at the same time said, "Being wrong does not make your opponent right." Okay. The word opponent makes the pigs realize they are in a game. The pigs hack the scoreboard and gain 1 wealth and 1 reputation, while the wolf loses 1 wealth and 1 reputation. Ah! Hackers. Cheaters. During her time at the witch's hut, she mentions her proficiency with bringing inanimate objects to life. So there's the random event. After all, she enchanted an entire castle for the beast. This gives you an idea. Could she enchant the silverware at the wolf's bite to give the diners a real scare? I like the wolf, she says, so I'll only enchant 1 utensil. Choose wisely. What are they going to choose? Enchant the spoons. As it turns out, once spoons are given life, they get a little feisty. As every spoon in the restaurant springs to life, they immediately set about to beginning the Great Spoon War. Oh no! They fling food at each other like tiny catapults, shouting war cries and growling with ferocity. Patrons are terrified and covered in the soup of the day. The wolf's bite loses 1 quality. Dang it, dang it, dang it. These pigs are sabotaging everything. Unexpected dashes of mischief at the wolf's bite. The restaurant business is fraught with difficulties, but the wolf's first foray into fine dining is off to a particularly unimpressive start. Rumors are circulating that the pigs may be behind a sputtering start, but they are unconfirmed at time of print. Dang, they really, they got me pretty good there. Restaurant quality, again, it's not too bad. Reputation is very low. I think reputation is more important at this point. Let's go to the bad side of town and mentor the youth. I think that's gotta bring my reputation up. As a former resident of the rough and tumble streets of bad side of town, your success as a serial entrepreneur positions you as a role model to today's kids. Teaching them the benefits of business ownership and self-discipline will pay dividends as today's kids become tomorrow's adults and the wolf's bite patrons. The wolf gains 1 reputation. Yay! Random event. An abandoned factory appears to be leaking a mysterious glowing ooze from barrels in the lower levels. Nobody seems to care since it only affects the bad side of town. Isn't that typical? Preliminary tests indicate it is non-toxic if heated, but in a raw state it causes hallucinations if consumed through tap water. Well, we gotta do something about that. As a former resident, you are concerned. How do you want to address the issue? Take the fluid and cook it? Donate a water purifier and clean up the site? Lobby for government intervention? I think I did this one before and I chose the second one. And I don't think I was too happy with the results. It's supposed to be non-toxic if heated. Maybe I could just take it out and cook it and then everybody would be safe. What could possibly go wrong? Since the mysterious ooze retains its glowing properties but becomes non-toxic when cooked, you decide it can be used in an eye-catching beverage or sauce. The only challenge is keeping the origin under wraps long enough to work through the barrels. The wolf's bite gains 1 quality. Look at that! It worked. It worked out for me. Piggies, 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 what you up to? Those little rascals. Put a hex on the wolf? Oh, dang. While no longer wicked per se, the witch still gets a kick out of magical pranks like hexes, and your gold is, well, gold. Be careful though, magic is capricious and can backfire. The wolf's bite loses 1 quality and the wolf loses 1 reputation, but the pigs lose 1 wealth. The witch, I feel like I'm not kind of running on a treadmill here, I'm not going anywhere. The witch, sensing the 3 of you are no ordinary patrons, offers you a special voodoo doll from her secret stash. She wraps a gnarled fist on the counter 3 times and a secret compartment is revealed. Go ahead boys, pick one. Which voodoo doll should you take? A tiny chef. Oh dear. It was almost too obvious. A tiny chef doll with a little hat and apron. You pick up the doll and push a pin into its hand. In the distance you hear a howl of pain coming from the direction of the wolf's bite. Looks like dinner service is going to be short-handed. Groan. The wolf's bite loses 2 quality. Oh, these pigs are doing too much damage. Something fishy at the wolf's bite. The wolf may be in over his head with his first restaurant. We've received first hoof accounts of chaos in the kitchen with shocking details such as Reuben sandwiches served without rye bread and nobody being sure if chips are fries or crisps. Hopefully the wolf can turn this ship around. I don't know, man. I'm not doing well. Everything I do, the pigs do something that kind of hurts me even more. Restaurant quality is low, reputation is low, and money is low. And I'm on day 4, so this is kind of the halfway point. I don't know. I don't know how we can turn this around. Let me go to the grocery shop. We could go shopping for ingredients and bring the quality up. Or we can promote the restaurant. Let's promote the restaurant. Maybe we can get the reputation up there. At least get a little money. Every meal cooked at home is a meal not bought at your restaurant. Your business depends on full wallets and empty stomachs. Pamphlets, business cards, and your ability to work the room turns several would-be grocery store patrons toward the wolf's bite. The wolf gains 1 reputation. There have been rumors of the pigs putting on free cooking classes at the grocery store to motivate people to cook for themselves instead of eating at your restaurant. Perhaps you could try to have an anti-cooking class and impress store patrons with secret recipes they'd never be able to recreate at home. If successful, nobody will want to eat at home again. So I need to choose something that people can't cook at home. I think this is actually pretty not that complicated. I remember seeing Crucible fried chicken curry in another story at one point, and it was some kind of specialty of the restaurant. If it's got a crucible, that's probably something people don't have at home, right? Let's go with this one. A crowd approaches the wolf with much curiosity at the sight of his repurposed crucible and the scent of spice. Come now, if you be brave enough, and challenge your taste buds with the spiciest, most flavorful dish in the kingdom. I think I chose right. The crowd oohed and awed at the strange device being used to cook and char the chicken. Wolfie, this is delicious. It's so spicy yet not overly so, and the depth of flavor, I'll have to come by for a proper portion post-haste. With that, several shoppers actually abandoned their grocery-laden carts and headed towards your restaurants. Yes! The wolf bite gains 1 quality and the wolf gains 1 reputation. Take that, pigs! So I guess 1 point is 5%. I guess. It still just bugs me that they weren't consistent with how they measured that, though. The pigs play! Come on, pigs. Be nice. Kick it with the West Side Porkers gang. The Porkers have a sweet monopoly on the local underground candy market. The secret to their success is the extra sugar, which makes their goods extra potent and addictive. It sure does. Sugar is rough stuff. Since candy is cheap and high in calories, it's easy to ruin people's dinners, and that means less people going to the wolf's restaurant or his stupid cooking classes. The pigs earn 2 wealth. Sergey, I don't know, has discovered a way to make an almost unbreakable cement-like substance from flour and water. To think people use this stuff to fry fish, losers. Since it's food-based, people will probably blame the wolf. Thus, it's a perfect plan. All we have to do is apply it liberally in the right places. So, what are they gonna do? Come on, pigs. Make a vulgar sculpture. Oh, it is good for that. You take advantage of the substance's malleability to craft a large, bottomless gnome statue. Okay. On its pedestal, you inscribe, "Here's a moon worth howling at, the wolf." Oh, that's just terrible. I thought the wolf had grown up, but I guess some things never change. Okay, this is definitely typo. Some things. And no apostrophe here. This is some things, as in belonging to something, or something is, never change. Proofreading. So I have also found a couple of other mistakes in the writing, which is a little disappointing. But that's, again, I am a professional editor and proofreader, so it bugs me probably more than it would bug most people. Anyway, one villager lamented. So I guess they bought it. The wolf loses 2 reputation. That's all I gained last turn. Oh, man. Camera crew spotted near the wolf's bite. Witnesses report Gus Fiore's camera crew was seen near the wolf's bite yesterday, scouting for good angles and recruiting potential interviewees. The buzz over Gus's appearance at the end of this week was renewed and strengthened by the presence of his crew, with reports of fainting and swooning. I don't know if that's good or bad. Oh, so the restaurant's going down, my reputation's going down, money is kind of stable. Maybe I need to work in the restaurant a little bit more. Maybe my reputation will work up a little bit, working in front of the restaurant. Spend the day greeting the guests and waiting tables, so we've done this one already. And it's, as you can see, it is the same. Okay, we gain 1 quality. Now, the random event. Humpty Dumpty, a world-famous food and restaurant critic, has decided to dine at the Wolf's Bite. Faced with such an important but unexpected opportunity, you have to think quickly to impress him and ensure a good review. You need to leverage your strengths here. What will you do? Breakfast for dinner, steak and eggs, or man this service? Humpty Dumpty, even though in the poem it doesn't say he's an egg, he's generally portrayed as an egg. So I don't know that I want to put steak and eggs. And again, since this is an American English made game, breakfast for dinner would probably include eggs. Maybe I'll man the service and just trust my cooks to do a good job. Food is only 1/3 of the meal, and your chefs are top-notch, so that shouldn't be an issue. Good service is difficult to find, and you never know if those pesky pigs are amongst your waitstaff for the night. Really? I don't have any control over who gets hired at my restaurant? Oh, my dear wolf, this has been a lovely evening, simply lovely. The food was a delight, and being served by the owner always shows commitment to quality not seen in most places. I picked the right answer. I look forward to giving you a glowing review of my next article. The wolf's bite gains 2 quality. I gotta tell you guys, it is hard to say the wolf's bite. Try it. Just try it right now. I'll give you a second. Try to say the wolf's bite, like 5 times fast. It's not easy, is it? Did you see? You stumble really easily. I feel like I sound ridiculous. I keep stumbling over the wolf's bite. The wolf's bite. It's a tough thing to say. Okay, so the restaurant quality is way up now. My reputation is still not great. I have a bad feeling about these pigs. Kick it with the West Side Porkers gang again. Okay. So, they're doing the same thing. They earn 2 wealth. Okay, they're getting lots of money here. The West Side Porkers, the original Bad Pig gang, are considering rebranding in order to differentiate from the East Side Squealers, a new rival gang. As the gang's most notable alumni, you have a chance to design the new uniform for a fee, of course. Mohawks and metal tusks. The West Side Porkers love the design. This is what we need, intimidating yet functional. I really like the metal tusks. It's like having 2 extra knives inside my mouth. It's like you took something that wasn't a weapon and then made it a weapon. That's brilliant. Again, grammatical error here. This is a comma splice. Anyway, aren't tusks weapons, though? I think they are weapons. Ah, they're clearly not highly educated pigs, these guys. They gain 3 wealth. They're getting tons of money, these guys. Well done is rare at the Wolf's Bite. With Gus Fiore a mere 2 days away, it seems the wolf can't get his act together in time to be featured favorably. There are confirmed reports of pandemonium. From crawling bugs to dancing forks, there is nothing funny about this comedy of errors. Alright, I need to get my quality up. I can get quality up by working at the restaurant. I think I can get quality up by working at the Culinary Institute or taking classes, train in regional cuisines. I'm gonna do that. You spend the day training under the watchful eye of Pier Ciprianini. With his expert tutelage and rigorous instruction, your cooking knowledge and culinary technique grow. The Wolf's Bite gains 1 quality. Okay? Head chef Mauricio Bonafante has become impressed with your training and has deemed you worthy of the Golden Spatula. To earn the spatula, you have but to prepare a dessert that combines savory, bitter, and sweet flavors into a single dish. Doing so will demonstrate your mastery of the art of cuisine. Are you up for the challenge? What dish will you prepare? Now here is another thing. I have a list of 4 things that I wanted to point out that I don't like about this game while I play. And one of them is that when you get here where you have to make a decision, you can't go back and read the text from before. And sometimes there's important information in there. If you just skip through quick or if you don't realize it's important, and then you're in trouble. I think it said we need sweet, savory, and... You know what? I don't remember. Sour? No. Sweet, savory, and bitter, maybe? Chocolate strawberry cake, that's just sweet. Pickled ginger and cabbage gelato, that should be alright. Salted caramel and bean pie. I'm gonna go with gelato. You can't go wrong with gelato. I guess you can. Retching, Mauricio admonishes the wolf. Cabbage gelato, really? I'm sorry. It sounded fun. Is that your idea of a dessert? I'd rather eat a chocolate dipped shoe, you rule. Well, I'll know for next time. The Wolf's Bite loses 3 equality. Oh no! I'm doing real bad, guys. This is not going well. Come on, pigs, make your decision. Go hiking. Okay, yeah, go. Go out into the woods. Leave me alone. Being more in shape will make it easier to do more damage to the restaurant. Hiking by the lake is great exercise with a great view, which made it particularly invigorating. Here's another thing that's bugging. It's driving me nuts. It may be driving some of you guys nuts, or maybe I'm the only person in the world which notices, but there's constantly switching between present and past tense. This is a real common error in English. When we're like just talking, having a conversation, we tend to switch back and forth between tenses. But when you're writing for a game which is so heavily text-based, you need to make sure you keep your tenses consistent, because it looks unprofessional, and it's a shame, because the writing, I mean, as far as the story goes and the humor and all that kind of stuff, it's all, you know, pretty good. But with all the errors, it just makes me like, I cringe every time. Anyway, there's another little bit of feedback. Not a game breaker, or a deal breaker, but still. This training should allow you to do more sabotage more quickly. The Wolf's Bite loses 1 quality. Of course it does. While at the lake, the pigs encounter the woodsman, drunk and staggering. Oh dear. Hey, piggies, you help me get back on track and I'll help you deal with that wolf. What do you say? What do you say? Give him a drink, give him an axe, give him money. Oh boy. Ooh, piggish, this isn't what I wanted, but I like it, just a shame. I have an issue with typing out or writing out stuff like this. And this is not specific to the game, this is just specific to writing in general. Native speakers of English tend to like to type out accents and slurred speech and things like that, because in our heads we can read it and hear what it sounds like, and we're like, oh yes, that's a drunk person talking, or that's a person from this region talking with that accent. But what it actually does is it alienates people who are not native speakers of English, and it insults people who might have an accent or a speech impediment or something like that. And also, people who are deaf. This game is very deaf-friendly, very friendly to anybody who is hearing impaired in any way. But when somebody who is not hearing reads something like this, they can't just sound it out because they don't hear the sounds in their head. They don't know what a drunk person sounds like. So it just makes it harder for them to read. Generally speaking, it's more inclusive to, and just, you know, more respectful of all people if you just write things out the way you mean to. I know this is not intended in any kind of insulting way. It would never have occurred to them, but, you know, developers, if you're watching this is actually not a good thing to do. And, you know, better if you don't do it. Anyway, they gave him alcohol. I'm gonna go get tree under this drunk. Right. Have a fantastic day. The pigs lose 1 wealth but gain 1 reputation. How do they gain reputation by getting a drunken woodsman drunker? I have my doubts. You'll lose your lunch at dinner. Our contact at the Department of Restaurant Management have informed us that numerous complaints have been lodged against the Wolf's Bite. While many seem to share the same handwriting, our contact has said the volume may call for a revocation of his license. At this rate, tomorrow's filming of restaurants, taverns, and bars may have to be cancelled. Oh man. Okay, we're on day 7, which, even though it's not warning us, is the last round. Somehow I have to get my quality and reputation up in 1 round. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Should we go to City Hall? Lobby? Cater? Let's cater. Let's cater for City Hall. When they see how good our food is, surely they'll have our back. Papa Wolf once said, don't make any big decisions on an empty stomach. And nobody makes bigger decisions than the politicians at City Hall. Some delicious pastries with your logo prominently displayed on the wrapper should help the City Council perform at the top of their game while getting your name in front of the city's movers and shakers. The Wolf's Bite gains 1 quality. That might not be enough. To the excitement of the entire town, the Emperor has arrived for his annual visit, fully clothed this time, of course. Somebody learned his lesson. Being an avid foodie, he's demanded a sample of the finest cuisine this town has to offer. You graciously volunteer your best dish for him to analyze. But what do you serve a man of such discerning tastes? Pork roulettes, imperial pork-duckin, or spaghetti bolognese? That's a tough one. I really feel like I'm just going to be totally guessing. I feel like the Emperor is the one who paraded around naked in front of everyone. Maybe he's not as refined as you'd like to think he is. Maybe I'll just give him spaghetti. Yeah? Or maybe I should give him something a little fancier? Pork? What do you guys think about me giving him pork? I'm very tempted. Yeah, I'm going with pork. With your training, this delicate French dish is mere child's play. You've masterfully combined your ingredients into the perfect concoction, and it would appear the Emperor agrees. Huzzah! Take that, Peggies. After taking the first bite, a single tear rolls down his cheek. Oh, magnifique, he whispers. The wolf earns 1 reputation, and the wolf's bite earns 1 quality. Oh, but will it be enough? Pigs now play. Very last turn of the game. There's nothing more I can do. Smear campaign against the wolf's bite. The store gets a ton of foot traffic, a perfect audience for a smear campaign against the wolf's bite. Pamphlets and pickets are the weapons for in the battle for public sentiment, and you wielded them with great effect. Again, you switch to the past tense, don't do that. The wolf's bite loses 1 quality. The wolf's primary supplier is on vacation, meaning the wolf has to use the grocery store in order to keep his pantry stocked. This creates a weakness we can exploit while innocently stocking up for ourselves. If we buy out 1 or more key ingredients, the wolf will be left in the lurch. Which would be the most effective? What are they going for? Buy out the herbs. Cilantro, dill, basil, and rosemary. All gone. Heck, we even grabbed the onions just in case. Another comma splice. Okay. It turns out this week the wolf is doing a barbecue theme and doesn't need the herbs as badly as we had hoped. Maybe we can make festive holiday wreaths for our cousins at the manor farm. Ha ha. Pigs lose 1 wealth. Alright, so now we get to see the ending. Stars amongst slop. Gus Fiore came expecting a rising culinary star and found 3 little ones instead. No! Impressed by the pig's ability to come back, this is 2 words. Comeback is a noun. From having 2/3 of their real estate portfolio leveled, Gus Fiore decided to feature the brothers and their tactics as a warning to aspiring restaurateurs everywhere. Aw, we didn't do so great this time, guys. The wolf told people he wanted to change, but the pigs saw through his ruse. He was using the restaurant to fatten up the village so he could go on a hunt once everyone's guard was down. Why huff and puff to blow houses down when he can use his restaurant to be welcomed into people's houses with open arms? Thanks to the pig's fearless public awareness efforts, the wolf's reputation was in tatters, but they knew that it just made him more dangerous. The pigs poured their finances into their biggest campaign yet. Muzzle the Monster was geared to subjugate the wolf and eradicate the threat he posed to the town. The pigs succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. Apparently the village actually had a deep-seated fear of the wolf, and the campaign became a rallying point. Another comma splice, oh my god. The mayor enacted the Carnivore Management Act, requiring all carnivores to wear muzzles in public. Oh, this is just racism, come on. The pigs slept a little more soundly that night, pleased with a job well done. So that's the ending. As you can see, it's not so much a winner and a loser. In this case, there was kind of a clear winner and loser. But really what it comes down to is just a different ending each time, depending on the values for everything on each side. So, this has been just kind of a quick look, just a 1 round of The Wolf's Bite. If you liked Monster Loves You, and that style of kind of storytelling and choosing and knowing, things are going to be the same every time, and once you discover all the options, there's not going to be anything new to discover. If that doesn't bother you, and if you like the style, and if all of the grammar errors don't bother you as they bother me, then you might enjoy this one. This one, generally speaking, is a pretty family-friendly one. It can be fun to play with kids if you have children. Anybody who can read or enjoys being read to might enjoy this. I think kids would probably enjoy the style and the humor of this quite a bit. As for the actual gameplay, I haven't played it enough to really say whether I totally recommend it or not. Again, I think it depends on your tastes, it depends on what you're looking to get out of it. I will be interested to see how the game will change for me as I start to memorize all the options, because it seems like once you know exactly how to get the points that you want to get, it become kind of a different type of dynamic in the game. And if you're playing against a computer, what the computer does seems to be completely random. They don't seem to be targeting anything in particular. But if you're playing against another person and you both know the game well, I feel like maybe there's the potential to kind of become a stalemate really, really easily. But again, this is all just conjecture. I haven't gotten that far into it. This has just been kind of a first impressions, quick look at the game. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was useful for you. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and leave a comment down below the video. I'm just checking to make sure I think I have covered all the points that I wanted to cover with you guys. So, there will be more reviews and stuff coming soon. And I wish y'all a very pleasant time of day wherever you are. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.